Hello and welcome to the News Digest. Today in the episode, purchase of Tomahawk missiles. The US and NATO urgently bolster support for Ukraine. Again, more than 1,000 Russian casualties. Ukrainian strikes on the Russian army. More than 1,000 soldiers eliminated in the last 24 hours. Aggression is a crime and must be punished. Special Tribunal will allow Putin to be tried for the aggression against Ukraine. The United States seeks to put an end to the war in Ukraine, and on this matter, there is progress. This was declared by US President Donald Trump. During a meeting with the press, he stated that 3 months ago, his administration reached a peace agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan. He also emphasized that this is one of the 8 wars the United States has managed to stop in the past 8 months on his watch.
One more, if that's possible, Russia and Ukraine. We haven't gotten there yet, but I think we've made a lot of progress.
U.S. senators have urged Budapest to stop relying on Russian energy resources. The statement was made ahead of a scheduled meeting between Donald Trump and Viktor Orban today. According to Bloomberg, citing a resolution from Congress signed by 10 senators from both parties, the lawmakers expressed concern that Hungary has shown no intention whatsoever of halting its purchase of Russian gas. They called on the country to join the European Union's initiative, which aims for a complete phase-out of energy imports from Russia by 2027. Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban spoke again about a possible meeting between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin in Budapest. According to him, direct negotiations could take place at any moment, although several pending issues still need to be agreed upon. After that, he stated, it would be possible to reach an agreement to establish peace in Ukraine. NATO's Secretary General Mark Rutte mocked the Russian dictator and his latest nuclear threats. During a meeting with Romanian President Nicu Șordan, Rutte was asked how and whether the alliance would react to Putin's statements on nuclear tests. Rutte responded that he had long stopped taking the Kremlin's military rhetoric seriously. According to him, the Kremlin leader makes such statements simply because it's part of his job, adding sarcastically that he gets paid for it. Contributions from partners under the Pearl program reached nearly $3 billion, which allowed the formation of 5 U.S. arms packages. This was reported by the deputy head of the Office of the President of Ukraine, Ihor Zhovka. He met with NATO International Secretariat Representative Ariella V. and thanked the alliance for coordinating the supply of lethal U.S. weapons to Ukraine. In addition, Zhovka highlighted the importance of investing in domestic defense production. Ukraine and the United States are engaged in negotiations regarding the purchase of long-range Tomahawk missiles and other types of advanced weaponry. This was stated by Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S., Olza Stefanishina, who described the dialogue between the two countries as positive. Stefanishina also emphasized that Ukraine is going through a difficult time and, in light of Russian attacks on the country's energy infrastructure, there is an urgent need to strengthen its air defense.
The discussion is still ongoing, but we have a lot of delegations working here, including Ukraine, to scale up the available financial resources to procure more military capabilities from U.S. And it's not only Tomahawks, different types of other long-range and short-range missiles. This dialogue is ongoing. We can survive this winter and another winter, but it does not mean that it is right. It's very important to understand that Russians will only be reading signals, not putting pressure on them as something that gives them the green light to scale up their capabilities.
Update from the Ukrainian Armed Forces General Staff that reports that Ukraine's defense forces eliminated another 1,170 Russian soldiers in the past day. On top of that, Ukrainian defenders destroyed 1 Russian tank, 2 armored vehicles, 3 artillery systems, and 1 air defense system. Since the start of the full-scale invasion, the Russian military has lost a total of 1,148,910 soldiers. Also, 248 drones and 67 military vehicles were destroyed. the Ukrainian forces managed to expel the Russian occupiers from the northern part of Kupiansk, although the situation in the city remains tense. This was reported during the Ukrainian National Telethon by Viktor Trihubov, head of the communication department of the Joint Forces Group. According to him, Russian units are following the same pattern, occupying buildings to take shelter from drone attacks, gathering forces, and trying to advance. Regarding Vovchansk, Trehubov stated that the city is almost completely destroyed, and the invaders are attempting to drive the Ukrainian defenders out of the southern areas. The fighters of the Alpha Special Operations Center of the Security Service of Ukraine continue to systematically eliminate the invaders in Pokrovsk, Donetsk region, and its surroundings. Over the past year of defense on this front, the special forces have neutralized around 9,500 Russian soldiers. And the Special Operations Forces of the Ukrainian Armed Forces joined the effort and showed how, with the help of drones, they eliminate invaders attempting to break through to Pokrovsk in small groups. The video was published on Telegram by the fighters themselves. According to the unit, Russian infantry attempts to break into the city both day and night, but the coordinated work of FPV drone operators and heavy bombers manages to stop them. Thanks to this, the Ukrainian defenders on the ground receive additional support to repel Russian attacks. The information about the alleged Russian occupation of towns in Dnipro and Zaporizhia regions is false, reported the spokesperson for the Southern Defense Forces, Vladislav Voloshin. According to him, the situation in the sectors remains difficult indeed, with nearly 50 clashes daily. Estonia has joined the steering committee of the Special Tribunal for the crime of aggression against Ukraine. Its creation was approved in June of this year by the foreign ministers of European Union countries. The participation of European states in the Special Tribunal is not just a display of solidarity. In the future, these states will take on the responsibility of enforcing the tribunal's decisions. The topic will be continued by Yulia Granovska.
Russia must bear punishment for every war crime committed in Ukraine. Estonian Foreign Minister Margus Tsahkna is convinced. That is why the Estonian government has approved a draft to join the steering committee of the Special Tribunal for the crime of aggression against Ukraine.
This marks a major step forward in getting the tribunal up and running, and Estonia is ready to contribute in every way we can. Russia's international crimes must not go unpunished. The Special Tribunal must become operational without delay. Margus Tsahkna, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Estonia, on X.
26 out of 27 EU countries have pledged to participate in the Special Tribunal for Russia's crime of aggression against Ukraine. EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Kaja Kallas, announced. She noted that the EU has already allocated 10 million euros for the tribunal. The range of Russia's crimes in Ukraine is enormous. According to the Ukrainian Prosecutor General's office, the Kremlin has committed at least 190,000 war crimes in Ukraine since the start of the full-scale war. Around 1,000 Russian military personnel have been notified of suspicion. Moscow targets not only Ukrainian soldiers, but also civilians. According to the UN, as of August 2025, at least 13,800 Ukrainian civilians have been killed since the start of the full-scale invasion. For example, on November 2nd, as a result of a Russian FPV drone strike, a 66-year-old resident of the village of Pidlimen in Kharkiv region died in hospital. In Odessa region, 2 people were killed due to Russian UAV attacks. Russia also kills journalists. On October 23rd in Kramatorsk, as a result of a Russian drone attack, Freedom TV correspondent Alyona Gromova and cameraman Yevhen Karmazin were killed, and special correspondent Oleksandr Kolichev was seriously wounded. According to official data, at least 124 Ukrainian journalists have been killed since 2014. Another 27 Ukrainian media representatives remain in Russian captivity.
The world cannot remain silent when Russia tortures and kills journalists. Russia must be held accountable for the abduction, torture, and murder of journalists, and all Ukrainian media workers held in Russian captivity must be released. Dmytro Timoshenko, First Secretary of Ukraine's Permanent Mission to the UN, during general debate of the Fourth Committee on Questions Relating to Information.
Children are also victims of Russian aggression. According to official data, 661 children have been killed and over 2,200 injured as a result of Russian shelling. And this is only in territory controlled by Ukraine. Russia not only kills, but also abducts. According to Yale University, Moscow may be holding around 35,000 Ukrainian minors considered missing. In Ukraine, the illegal deportation of more than 19,000 children has been confirmed. As a reminder, on March 17, 2023, the International Criminal Court in The Hague issued an arrest warrant for Putin and Russia's Presidential Commissioner for Children's Rights, Maria Lvova-Belova. They are accused of the war crime of illegally deporting children from occupied Ukrainian territories to Russia.
It is vital that we join forces in international platforms, coalitions, and assemblies so that we can work together to put an end to Russia's unlawful abductions. Together, we can help bring these children home, Karina Odebrink, Special Rapporteur of the OSCE Parliamentary Support Team for Ukraine on the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly website.
Not just finding the guilty, but also punishing them. To this end, on June 25, 2025, in Strasbourg, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and Council of Europe Secretary-General Alain Berset signed an agreement to create a special tribunal to investigate Russia's crimes of aggression against Ukraine.
Every war criminal must know there will be justice, and this applies to Russia as well. We are now significantly intensifying legal work. There is still a lot to do. Politically, we have already achieved substantial progress, and I am grateful to the Council of Europe's Committee of Ministers and everyone showing leadership on this issue. This tribunal gives us a real chance to ensure justice for the crime of aggression. We need to clearly show that aggression leads to punishment.
It should be noted that the created Special Tribunal for Russia's crime of aggression against Ukraine will allow investigations against the highest Russian leadership, which is usually protected by personal immunity. Sentencing them will only be possible after they lose their positions. The investigation will cover the Kremlin's aggression against Ukraine, not only during the years of full-scale war, but starting from February 2014. It is expected that the Kremlin dictator Putin will be recognized as one of those responsible for Russia's crime of aggression against Ukraine. He faces up to 30 years in prison or even life imprisonment. Reported by Yulia Hranovska, UATV News.
Thank you for watching News Digest. Stay informed with verified updates from Ukraine and around the world. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to never miss our reports. Goodbye.